welcome into the DNVR Rockies podcast. I am your host, Susie Hunter. We've got Kale Sorbo producing. And, it's kind of a solo show, but we have some great interviews. We're going to hear from Antonio Senzatela, of course, Rockies manager Bud Black. We're going to hear from Riley Pint, a prospect that we have been talking about, I feel like, forever. And we're going to check in with Jeff Dooley on the minors. But we have some really big stuff to get into, some really big news. Antonio Senzatela, we know he went down in Pittsburgh. We now know after he was examined, I believe on Thursday, that is an elbow sprain, a UCL sprain. He told us he expects to be out for 2 months. So if that's the case, that is pretty serious. But Antonio Senzatela did speak with reporters today before the game. We're just going to get right to it. We're going to play you what he had to say.
I was feeling bad yesterday, 2 days ago in the game. All week I was feeling bad. I think we got bad news, I have something on my elbow. Hopefully we race we get on track soon. Soon, it's gonna be wild, but hopefully I get back and keep doing, Feel really, really good about it because we don't have to go to surgery, but things, never stood good.
Right.
Being the IL.
Yeah, when you heard about the elbow, did you worry a bit? Because I know that I guess Herman had his surgery today. Were you thinking about him also?
Yeah, for sure, man. That week after the game in New York, was feeling sore on my arm, and was hopefully it wasn't bad, but during the game, it was really bad. So after the MRI yesterday, we got was expecting to go to a series, but it's not. So I got good news. Not good there, but it's gonna be a while.
The options, you're resting it. Did you think about the PRP shot or anything like that, or?
We don't decide anything yet, but we're gonna take the best chance. If PRP is gonna work, we'll maybe use it, but we don't have anything on track yet.
What is the next step? Are you just chilling?
We're just waiting for the doctor to then.
Do you have any idea of how long you could be out?
I think at least maybe it's gonna be 2 months, at least.
How does it feel right now?
Sore. Yeah, it's pain, bit of pain on my elbow.
I know you hate to see this, especially because it's still hurting him, but he did say also that he thought it was just a little tight, but it never really loosened up during that game, and it became painful every time he threw. So, again, no course of treatment right now is set out. We still have a lot of questions left to be answered. But, yeah, wishing Antonio Senzatela the best of luck. So he was so frustrated. You could just see it on his face, how frustrated he was to just have a couple of starts back, not even really get through that second start, and already be back on the IL. So we will, of course, keep you guys posted on what is going on. You did hear a little mention of this, some new news. Herman Marquez got his Tommy John surgery today. We don't have an update on how it went because it sounds like it might have still been happening while we were talking to manager Bud Black, or it could have just gotten out. But yeah, we'll know more soon. Wishing him the best of luck. But yeah, of course, Buddy had a lot to say about Antonio Senzatela's injury. Yeah, so he also had a lot to say. And also, this kind of moves into a move that the Rockies made earlier today. They picked up pitcher Chase Anderson off of waivers. But yeah, here is what Buddy had to say. Let's hear from him.
The news is favorable, considering I think in these cases you always sort of expect the worst, right? I think Sensa will probably relay that too. But the news is okay. He's got a sprain. He's got a sprain of the elbow. No surgery or anything drastic like that. It's going to require some rest and some treatment, and he should be able to pitch again this year. I think he started feeling some discomfort in New York, and then or after New York that week. All pitchers after they throw, there's trauma to your arm after you throw, and he was just a little bit more sore in between swings. He started in the minor leagues with the Reds, so his pitch count is up. And he threw threw 3 innings for Tampa and then another outing of 2 innings. But he's sort of like all our other, like where Seabold was and some of these other starters as far as their pitch count.
If you're watching us on YouTube, you will notice that Buddy is wearing a Nuggets jersey. He's wearing a powder blue throwback. It's Jokic. Such a strange sight to see. But here's the other thing, Kale. This is the thing that I noticed. So the jersey, it's a throwback from Mitchell and Ness, which is a Philly brand, and the Rockies are playing the Phillies this weekend.
Was it super planned out or just a coincidence?
That has to be a coincidence.
Okay, I believe you.
I can't imagine that Buddy would choose to wear something with ties to Philly. He should have worn an Iverson jersey if he was going to wear a Nuggets jersey. Come on.
Oh, I mean, let's not fight, Susie. Let's not fight.
Are you not an Iverson guy?
Well, he was only here for 2 years. He's like, Philly claims him, and that's like, okay.
Yeah. But was it fun to have him?
I mean, yes, they did nothing, but it was super fun for a couple of years.
I don't have a Nuggets jersey, but if I were to get a Nuggets jersey, I would get a throwback Iverson jersey.
I could see you rocking that.
Yeah.
I could see you rocking that for sure.
That's like on my list of things I want to get. Like, definitely. But let's get back on track. Let's talk about Chase Anderson. So Chase Anderson was DFA'd by the Rays to clear a roster spot. So he has spent 10 seasons, parts of 10 seasons in the majors with Arizona, Milwaukee, Toronto, Philly, Cincinnati, and then most recently Tampa Bay. So when he was with Cincinnati, Buddy did mention he was a starter in their minor leagues, but he pitched 5 scoreless innings of relief over the past 2 games with Tampa Bay, not the past 2 games. So, yeah, I mean, I think that's some pretty promising stuff. We'll see how he does. But, yeah, as you heard Buddy say, the Rockies acted pretty quickly to pick him up because we do not know how long Senza is going to be out. It sounds like it could be a little bit. Buddy also did mention when we were talking to him that Senza, he said it would be at least 3 weeks before he can play catch. So, like, these are kind of like the timelines we have going on right now. But, yeah, the Rockies have a full 40-man roster right now, and that is the latest as we head into a series against the Phillies. Since we're talking about pitching so much, because it is in such high demand in the Rockies organization right now, we have this great interview. I talked with Riley Pint earlier this week. What a journey that guy has been on. But before we play that interview, we got to shout out how amazing things are here at the DNVR bar and how it can be even better if you are a diehard. So if you're a diehard, you are enjoying 15% off your tab here at the DNVR bar at the corner of Colfax and York. And Kale, can you confirm it was popping here last night?
Yo, last night was an all-timer at the DNVR bar.
It was an all-timer?
It was an all-timer.
It sounds so fun.
I didn't get to sleep till the sun came up.
Oh, Kale. Kale is in his 20s, ladies and gentlemen.
I am in my 20s.
Wait, your birthday's soon, right?
It was like...
It happened.
Yeah, it happened like 2 weeks ago.
Sorry, I never know what day of the week it is.
You even wished me a happy birthday and everything.
I did.
Yeah.
I was afraid I missed it, and it turns out I already did.
Look at that.
All right. Now that we've cleared that up, am I okay? Every day I say something where I'm just like, wow, am I the dumbest person to ever live? But listen, if you're not a diehard already, you are missing out on 15% off your tab at the DNVR bar. 20% off of everything from DNVRlocker.com. And we have the best merch in the biz. Everyone knows it. My friends who have our Nugget shirts catch nothing but compliments on them, which is kind of awesome. I love that I could bring that into their lives. But yeah, you're getting 20% off of the party buses. We have another party bus for the Rockies in the works. Hopefully sometime in June. We'll see. We'll keep you posted. But that annual membership also comes with a free shirt from DNVRlocker.com every dang year. You're getting extra raffle tickets to win to win prizes and free gear at our watch parties, and of course, all access to our diehards only Discord. Shout out to the Rockies fans in the Discord because y'all have been on it this season, and I'm like really loving chatting with you guys. So yeah, head to thednvr.com to make that happen for you. All right, Shady Rays, our favorite sunglasses. My favorite sunglasses to lose because they will replace them if you lose them or break them. I've only lost them, and they got me a new pair right away, which I absolutely loved. But they just have the absolute best sunglasses. It is designer quality for just like a fraction of that price. They're an independent sunglass company. They've got a world-class product just as good as any expensive pair you could ever wear. They are so durable. I can't even believe someone would break them because they're like so sturdy. But listen, they've got the best protection pair. If you break them, if you lose them, they will replace them. No questions asked. If you don't love them, you can exchange them for a new pair or return them for free within 30 days. There's absolutely no risk when you shop at Shady Rays. You can shop online or you can go to the Park Meadows Mall, but use code DNVR and get 50% off 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses. It is an unreal deal, so try the shades, rated 5 stars by more than 200,000 people. Oh my goodness, that's so many people. But yeah, Shady Rays. Link in bio, link in description. Okay, I'm actually so excited that we're talking about pins and aces because someone left the liquor stick on the set, and I've only like done the liquor stick once at one of the tailgates, but like I didn't hold it. It was shot into my mouth. This sounds terrible. But this is such a sturdy piece of equipment. I thought this was like gear. And Kale, what did you tell me about the capacity of this bad boy?
So apparently it holds an entire 750 of liquor.
That's so much alcohol.
That's so much. Way more than you need for one round of golf. I will say that.
This is insane. Yeah, so this is obviously great for golf, great for tailgates. I don't know, whatever you think you need a liquor stick for. This thing is groundbreaking. That's like heavy too. That's really sturdy. Pins and Aces, they are the official golf apparel partner of DNVR. We love our Pins and Aces. Everyone in the office who has Pins and Aces polos and shirts and gear and hats and all of that, my gosh, they are the absolute flyest gear. Like Spencer catches so many compliments on his Pins and Aces shirts. They're so good. They are family owned. They are based here in Colorado. They have amazing polos, hats, golf bags. They have the beer sleeve too that you can put in your bag along with this liquor stick if you were really trying to get after it on the course. But check out pinsandaces.com. Use code DNVR to receive 15% off your first order and get free shipping. That is pinsandaces.com. All right, we're going to get into baseball headlines in a bit, but first, we need to hear my conversation with Riley Pint because it was a good one. He is such a joy to talk to. Kale, are we ready to roll it? Let's roll it. Joining the pod now is Riley Pint, a pitcher for the Albuquerque Isotopes. Riley, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Happy to be a part of this.
You're having a pretty good start to the season right now. You're coming off of a 9-inning scoreless streak. Do you feel like you're getting into a good rhythm right now?
Yeah, I think kind of as time, as the season's kind of progressed, I feel like I'm starting to kind of get into a little bit of a flow. So yeah, I mean, I think this is kind of the time of the year to start kind of finding your stride and start kind of taking off a little bit. So I think I'm kind of right where I need to be.
We love to hear that. You've been on such a journey ever since that 4th round pick almost 7 years ago. It's so hard to believe. But when you look at where you're at now, you're in AAA, you're on the 40-man. What do you think has been working for you?
I mean, I think I finally just got back to just trusting myself, trusting in what I'm confident in doing and kind of just trusting my stuff. I got away from that for a long time and I finally found it, a couple of years ago. And, I think I'm just trying to kind of ride that wave a little bit right now.
Ride the wave. I want to talk about your journey a little bit because this is something that I can also personally relate to, where you have worked your whole life for something, you finally get there, and it's not what you thought it was going to be. You're not enjoying it. How long did you wrangle with the question of should I stay, should I go? Because I know that that is not an easy mental conversation.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, it was honestly years of kind of thinking that, I had a couple injuries kind of early on in my career. And I kind of got away, like I said, I got away from what I did best. And it just kind of really put a lot of self doubt in my mind and a lot of, just like, man, am I even, good enough to be here anymore? Am I good enough to, continue to do this? So yeah, I mean, it was, a couple years in the making, honestly. But I mean, I feel like that was probably one of the best things I did for myself was just take time away for myself and just kind of, get back to what I know and get back to what I'm good at.
Yeah, you really learn about yourself in those times when you step away from something that has become your whole life. Maybe it's become your whole personality. But what did you learn about yourself during that time away from baseball?
I learned a lot. I mean, I think one of the first things I learned was just, I wasn't the person that I was, before I got drafted, even my first couple of years. I really was just kind of like a shell of myself, to be honest. Like I wasn't that happy-go-lucky guy anymore. I was just always, not enjoying being at the park. I wasn't enjoying, playing baseball anymore. So I think, kind of just getting back to what I do and just getting back to, enjoying the game, getting back to just, being the happy-go-lucky guy that I am.
What is the part of the most that you enjoy about the game? Because I know you've talked about the importance of being happy where you are. When are you having the most fun as a professional baseball player?
I mean, now it's at the park every day. I enjoy getting to the field. I enjoy, hanging out with my teammates. That's probably the best part about this game is, we get to see all of our, teammates for 140 days out of the year, straight days. So, I mean, that's probably one of the best times for me that I feel like I'm at the field every day is just enjoying it.
Yeah, speaking of teammates, we talked a lot about here. We've talked a lot about this up here, especially recently, but how important it is to have guys that you can turn to when you're going through stuff or when you need to talk stuff out. Do you have anyone in this organization that you rely on like that?
I mean, I have a bunch of guys that, I reach out to all the time, but I mean, a couple of guys, I mean, Justin Lawrence and Ryan Feltner are two of my best friends in the organization. And I feel like we always kind of, whether that's on a phone call, text message, we're always just kind of staying in contact, keeping up with each other. But those are the two of the guys that, for me, they've been there. I mean, Justin Lawrence has been there since day one for me. And, we're always in communication. We're always talking, I shot him a text last night, said, hey, way to go. I mean, he's killing it up there right now. So, just kind of, just the back and forth conversation like that. I mean, those are two of probably my best friends in the organization.
Okay, sidebar. Speaking of Justin Lawrence, what are your thoughts on the sweeper?
I mean, it's about time they started calling it that because it ain't a slider. So, I mean, it's probably one of the best pitchers in baseball right now. So, I mean, I think he needs to keep calling it a sweeper until somebody can hit it.
I love that. One more thing. I know we kind of just missed each other in Hartford, but I love talking to guys who played in Hartford the 2022 season because it sounds like it was just such a special year, such a special group.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I think the best part about it was we all were living in a apartment building. Like there was like 17 of us in there, and we all had our own like single bedroom apartments. And I mean, it's just like you never left that like I call it the fraternity of baseball players, but like we just never left that. It was like our own little fraternity house. On off days we would just play ping pong, pool, like watch movies. Like we just always were around each other. I mean, we had such a close group that it was just really special. We had a lot of great guys on that team.
That's amazing. That sounds exactly like college. All right,
Yeah.
what's next today for you? What are you up to?
I got to go stretch and throw here in about 30 minutes or so, but yeah, just kind of a light day. We got our stretch move back today, so we have a little bit of a show and go. So yeah, just getting ready for tonight's game.
All right, Riley, thank you so much for joining the pod. Best of luck with the rest of your season.
Absolutely, I appreciate it. Thank you.
What a freaking journey that guy has been on. I hope we see him up here pretty soon. And listen, with all the pitching shake around we've had. Who knows? I'm rooting for that kid. All right. First of all, we have a super chat to address. I love a super chat. So rarely get them on the Susie Show. But hello, Saucy Quesarito. What a great name. Why isn't Montero playing? He's got that power. Got it. I can read, I swear. I'm just not smart today. I don't know what happened to all of my brain cells. So Montero has been down with the isotopes for the past couple of weeks. He had been struggling at third base, and he really hadn't been hitting up here in Colorado either. So they sent him down so he can get, more playing time, get back into a groove. Also, he's not really playing third base down in Albuquerque. They're trying him out at first base. So that means Michael Toglia is spending more time in right field. So things have been moved around a little bit, but he's been hitting. May 9th, I know he had 7 homers since they moved him down. So he's mashing. He does have that power. He just needs to work on some stuff down in Albuquerque. If you want to check out last week's episode, talk to Josh Sushan at length about this in the episode from exactly 1 week ago today. So check that out if you want to hear some more. And James, I'm so sorry that YouTube did not notify you about this live stream. But you know what? It exists on the internet forever. That is the beauty of the internet. Me not being able to talk properly will be on YouTube forever and ever and ever. Let's talk about some baseball headlines. I've got 3 baseball headlines that you need to know heading into your weekend. The big baseball news today is that the Miami Marlins top pitching prospect, Yuri Perez, making his debut tonight. It's Friday, in case you're listening to this as a podcast later on in the weekend. But yeah, called up straight from AA. And the thing that I love the most about this is that reigning Cy Young winner, Sandy Alcantara, picked him up from the airport. I think that's so great. Manny Rendawa also tweeted out that the Marlins are wearing their 1993 throwback jerseys, just casually from a whole 10 years before this guy was even born. So the baseball world is very excited about a young guy pitching. Apparently Lars Nootbaar is very famous in Japan now, ever since he played in the WBC. And his mom was born in Japan, so the rules changed in order for him to even be able to play for Japan. Because he was not born in Japan. But he has apparently become so famous in Japan, he's just getting all kinds of offers to promote all kinds of products. So even though he is playing for the Cardinals and they are struggling, things maybe could not be better for Lars Nootbaar, which I think is delightful. And finally, Mookie Betts, when the Dodgers played in Milwaukee, when they were playing the Brewers, Mookie Betts rented an Airbnb, did not stay at the team hotel because the team stays at a haunted hotel in Milwaukee, and he wants no part of it. So he rented his own Airbnb, which I think is absolutely hysterical. And those are the baseball headlines I wanted you to know. And listen, I talked to Jeff Dooley earlier today, who is always a delight to talk to. But before we talk about that, we're going to talk about our friends at FOCO. You know we love FOCO gear, and they are the leading manufacturer of sports and entertainment merchandise. They've got apparel, accessories, toys, collectibles, novelty items, and of course, the best bobbleheads on earth. But listen, it's baseball season. They have so much great Rockies gear. If you have a friend or family member in your life who's not a Rockies fan and they root for a different team, they have plenty of other gear for all the markets. They have so much great stuff. We have an amazing... Why do I keep forgetting to bring this hat on set with me? We have like this incredible straw hat that's like on the other side of the studio. I'm looking at it. It's incredible. It's a vibe. Their stuff is a vibe. FOCO is such a vibe. But listen, FOCO's got our back. They've got Colorado's back. They've got your back too. You can get the best gear around by using the link in our description and use code DNVR for 10% off for non-presale items. It's a good deal. Okay, you know what else is a good deal? Backus and Schenker, because if you are injured and you need to talk to someone about your case, guess what? They're going to help you work it out for free. You're not going to pay anything until they win money for you in your personal injury case. They've been helping those who are seriously injured in Colorado for more than 25 years. So it's free until they win money in your case. No upfront fee to speak with someone about your case. No fee while they work on it. No fee until they win you money. And they've done it a lot because they've won over $1 billion for their clients. And they've got neighborhood offices in Denver, Aurora, Englewood, and Fort Collins. And they've got a staff of more than 30 lawyers and 100 staff members on top of that too. But listen, Backus and Schenker helps with all kinds of personal injury cases where you were not at fault. Maybe it's a car accident, a motorcycle accident, a rideshare incident. If you're a pedestrian and something happens to you, even if you're injured at work, they can help you out. So call them at 222-2222 to find out if you have a case for free, because Backus and Schenker wins. And you know it's always a win? Fubo TV. You are getting 140 plus live channels of sports, shows, movies, news for the lowest price. And there's a free 7-day trial right now. No contract, no cable, no hassle. Y'all, we love a trial. 7 days, that's a good time. So sign up. You can start watching 1,000 hours of cloud DVR included at no extra charge. You're going to catch the Nuggets, the Rapids. You're going to catch ESPN, NFL Network. You're going to watch local teams. You can watch your local teams while you're traveling. So yeah, sign up for Fubo. Head to Fubo. There's a link in our description, but you can get 15% off if you use that link. Again, that's Fubo TV. Link in the description. We got to hear from Jeff Dooley. Because I love chatting with Jeff Dooley. Last time we chatted with Jeff Dooley, it was right before a Phillies series. So we're gonna do it again, because why not? But are we ready to roll that? All right, let's hear it. Joining the pod now is Jeff Dooley, the voice of the Hartford Yard Goats and a good friend of this program. Jeff Dooley, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Susie. Always good being with you, my friend.
I know. I saw you just a couple of weeks ago, and we were both in Philly. You made your major league debut. You were calling big league games, but there were a lot of familiar faces out there for you. Did you have the best time ever?
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, it was more than anything I hoped it would be, getting a chance to see so many former Yard Goats that came through to talk to before I had the broadcast that night, and to see you there too. It kind of got me in my comfort zone. So it was a lot of fun, and working with Jerry was just outstanding. And Jesse, I mean, it was just something that, I dreamed would happen one day. And I was just so fortunate that I had the opportunity to do it. And, it was 2 really good games. Unfortunately, the Rockies lost those 2, but I know they played much better since they left Philadelphia.
Yeah, things really picked up for the Rockies. Once they got to Cleveland, literally the second they left Philly, things got better. Couldn't be something about Philly, but anyway, yeah, the Rocks have been much better. The Yard Goats have been much better. I was looking at the numbers. Y'all are a game and a half back from the Somerset Patriots, who are in first place. What is working for this team right now?
Well, the offense is coming around. A lot of the prospects are beginning to kind of show what they're made of. Hunter Goodman has really been the best offensive player so far. Certainly one of the top 2-3 players in the Eastern League to this point. And it shows you what he did last year, was no fluke. I mean, he led the organization, was the minor league player of the year with 36 home runs. He drove in 100 runs last year. And this season, he's leading the league in home runs, RBIs. He's among the best in slugging and total bases and doubles. He's been a really good offensive player this year. They move him around, Susie, all over the place. He'll catch behind the plate. He'll play at first base. He'll DH. He can get reps in the outfield. So he's very versatile. And I think someone that, is going to be a good Rocky at some point. Vladimir Restituyo is another prospect that really has played well. He's just a young kid. He is now second in the league in batting and hits. And he's another kid that, had a really good spring training. We weren't really sure what that would look like when the regular season began, because it is a different beast when you get into the regular season. And a lot of guys do stumble going from A-ball to AA. but he's been really, really good. He's defensively really good in the outfield. Made a spectacular catch that saved the game in Binghamton the other night. And I know a big fan favorite in Denver is Zach Veen. And Zach did get off to somewhat of a slow start, but after coming off the injury list, he has been a different player right now in a good way. And he is a man on a mission. He's certainly been one of the top guys for the Yard Goats. He's got a 7-game hitting streak going into tonight. He's tracking balls like he should in the outfield. And, I think we're starting to see that big prospect that everyone's been talking about.
I know we are always talking about Zach Veen up here. Like you would think that he was up here, the amount of times we talk about him. Listen, you guys have this week you're playing the Mets affiliate, the Binghamton Rumble Ponies. Am I right? Yeah. And the Mets have sent some pretty good help. Carlos Carrasco came down on a major league rehab stint, and they faced him the other night. And who knows, we may see him again on Sunday. I'm not really sure about that. That could be a possibility. So, the Mets always seem to stack that Binghamton roster, but they've got some really good prospects on this team as well. So it's a couple of more in Binghamton this weekend, and then it's home next week, Susie, as you mentioned. The Yard goes very much in a pennant race, now chasing Portland, who's been outstanding. And the only 6 games these two teams play at Duncan Park in the first half come next week. So it's going to be a gigantic series at Duncan Park in Hartford. I was going to say that must be a big series. That's always a big series because there are so many Red Sox fans who live in Connecticut.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And, they've seen so many players come through Portland and then, up to AAA, and then they finish at Fenway. So it's really cool to see. But they've got some really good prospects, and they've mixed, I think, those prospects with some veteran guys. We haven't seen them yet, but, they've been one of the best teams in the league. They're now 20 and 10. So they have played outstanding baseball to start. So that'll be a big series. But, hopefully that Hartford can live up to the task coming up at home.
All right, Jeff Dooley, we always talk about how special that 2022 Yard Goats team is, how much fun they had. They're playing so well right now. Do you think this team this year could have that same level of just specialness? That's not a word, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, there's great chemistry in the clubhouse, and I think that starts at the top of the coaching staff and Chris Denorfi. He's done a really good job. He's been through the big leagues before. He played 10 years in the major leagues, and he has that calming effect around these guys. And as you mentioned, it was a special group. Anytime a AA team has 4 players that go to the major leagues that season, that just doesn't happen very often. And we've got another kid, Brenton Doyle, that was on that team last year. That's in Colorado now, and Yard Goat fans got a chance to see him last year. So I think it is a special group. I like what I'm seeing in terms of the offense. Defensively, they rank second best in the entire league in fielding percentage. So these guys can go after the ball and go get it. The bullpen's been really good. Just the starting pitching has been something that, I guess is a little bit of a concern early on. Hopefully they figure that out, because we have seen some starts that have been impressive. But in terms of putting back-to-back solid starts together, I think that's taking that next step. But Susie, without a doubt, I think this is a team that's going to compete here in the Eastern League in 2023.
I hate to hear that news about the starting pitching, because I think we need some up here ourselves. But you keep an eye on these guys. You keep us posted on how they're doing. Good luck in Binghamton. I will talk to you soon, Jeff Dooley.
All right. Yeah, Susie, everyone needs starting pitching. It's not just the Rockies organization. But, thanks for having me. We'll catch up real soon.
Thanks, Jeff.
Always love talking to Jeff Dooley. He is one of my faves. Listen, I got to get to the ballpark. It's a Friday night right now. It's time. We're going to quickly preview this Phillies series. I think this is going to be a really exciting series at Coors Field. First of all, on the Phillies side of things, Bryce Harper is back, and that's huge for them. We'll see how he does at altitude. I feel like he's going to homer. We're going to hate it, I know. But yeah, the matchup tonight, Gomber versus Taijuan Walker. If you want to, I want to play along with the hashtag Rockies home run psychic game. Chris Bryant has 1 homer off of Walker, but Profar has 2, and he's been hot lately, so I am picking him to homer tonight. Saturday, the matchup is Feltner versus Ranger Suarez, who's making his first start for the Phillies this season. He is making his big return. And then Sunday, the matchup is Kyle Freeland versus Aaron Nola.
we're going to keep you guys posted on Twitter. Before I let you go, though, there's a link in the description to I'm doing a charity walk for cystic fibrosis tomorrow morning. So if you see this in time, join the walk. There is a link in the description. If you can donate to, that would be amazing because it is a terrible disease and this research is so, so important. But we will be back. We're going to be back here on this set. Me and Patrick, we're going to break down the whole Phillies series on Sunday after the game, but we're going to have updates for you all weekend long, all of the latest, because there's a lot happening with these Rockies right now, and you cannot afford to not be up to date. But you can follow us on Twitter at DNVR_Rockies. Kale, where can we follow you on Twitter?
On Twitter, I'm at Kale Sorbo, Kale with 2 L's.
With 2 L's. You can follow me at the Susie Hunter on all platforms. And Kale, you know what we say about me closing out a show?
What do they say?
They say she doesn't know how to do it. She doesn't know what she's doing. So just turn the camera off and let her leave. All right, bye, guys.